Good morning, students. Grade 5. Today we see the computer science class. Okay. In the previous class, we see the different types of devices. Yes. So in early days, how they have to calculate the devices. So what are the devices are there? So we have to first see the tally stick, then we see the abacus. It is used for the addition, subtractions, multiplications and all. Then we see the Napier's bone, which is particularly used for the multiplication. Then we see the Gunter's scale, which is used for the uh, remaining, that is not for the addition and subtraction but multiplication, division, square roots, cube roots. For that purpose that is used. After that, Pascal line device is introduced. This is used, this will use for in the rotating, that is clockwise rotating wheel like structure is there. First they identify the 5 digit, then 6, 7, 8 like that it goes. Mainly the Pascal line is used for the accounting purpose only. Okay. Then next we see the stepped rectangle. In that the same addition, subtraction, multiplication they have to see. Then after difference engine, Charles Babbage has introduced. So in that you have a 5 main units. Okay, you have a 5 main units. One is input, output, store, mill and control. How many units are there? 5 units are there. Okay, then analytical engine they have to introduce. So like this, so the previous, that early days to till, they have to identify the new devices. So according to that, we have to see now what generations of computer. Okay, so here we see the generations of computer. So over the year, computer has gone through many changes in their size and shapes and appearance and technologies. So they have so many changes are there in the technologies. Okay, so see, generation of computers. The computer have evolved from a large sized simple calculation machine to the smaller but much more powerful machine. So before and all, a big size machine came, then it will reduce small, then it will reduce small, but the that power is very large. Okay, so like that only they say the computer has evolved from a large sized simple calculation machine to a smaller size but more powerful machine. So these computer are classified into 5 generations. So the computer are classified into 5 generation. Each generation use a different technologies. So the generation are divided into 5. So every generations they have to introduce, that means they have to use different technologies. Now first we see what are the 5 generation. The first one is first generation computer. The first one is first generation computer. Second one is the second generation computer. The third one is third generation computer. The fourth one is fourth generation computer. The last one is fifth generation computers. Now here we have to see one by one. So what are the technologies they have to use in each generations, and what are the inputs are there, what are the outputs are there. So we have to see one by one. So first we have to go for the first generation computer. Okay, so the first generation of computer, they have to use the vacuum tubes. In the side, did you see that picture? Yes, that is the vacuum tube. They used punch cards for the inputs and outputs. In the second image, did you see IBM punched card? Yes, that is the punch card. So in this generation, they use a vacuum tubes. Okay, they have to use vacuum tubes, and for the input and output, they use the punch cards. They calculated the data in milliseconds. So they calculated how many seconds means it will take millisecond. They are very large in size but had smaller storage capacity. The machine is very big, but storage capacity is very small only. We can store very less amount of data. They were slow in speed, so it will go very slowly. They consumed a large amount of energy. Consumed a lot of energy means they have to take more electricity power. See, generate a lot of heat and required a lot of power. Okay, so it will generate lot of heats and require more powers. So in first generation, the technology name they used in first generation, no, the technology name is vacuum tubes. The technology name is vacuum tubes, and here they used punch cards for the inputs and output. The machine is very big, the storage place is very less. It will take lot of heat. It generates lot of heat and it will take lot of electricity. Okay. Now, okay, let's see the first generation computer example. The first one is ENIAC. ENIAC, that is ENIAC, electronic, numerical, integrated and calculator. This is the machine. Okay, this name is only ENIAC. Okay, so the expansion of ENIAC is electronic, numerical, integrated and calculator, and it was the first general purpose electronic computer. So it is the first general purpose. So they ask a question, which is the first general purpose electronic computer, means ENIAC is the answer. Okay, and it will contains 5700 vacuum tubes. Okay, the second example is UNIVA. The expansion of this is Universal Automatic Computer. Universal Automatic Computer, and this is the machine. ENIAC machine is this. So it is the first commercial available computer. So it is the first commercial available computer. And who invented this means John, that is Jan J. Eckert and J. Marcelli. Okay, Marcelli is introduced this both ENIAC and UNIVA machine. Now let's see our second generation computer. They were smaller in size than the first generation. So compared to the first generation, the machine is very small. They used transistor instead of vacuum tubes. So instead of vacuum tube, they use transistor. This is the image of transistor. Do you see that image? Yes, that is the transistor image. They calculate data in microsecond. Here the data they calculated in microsecond. They were faster, cheaper and more efficient when compared to the first generation. Okay, the next one is they used punch cards and magnetic tapes for the input and output. So here they used punch cards and magnetic tape. Punch cards in the first generation, you saw the picture. Here I will show you the magnetic tape. This is the magnetic tape, okay, for the input and output. They are costly, could be used only for specific purpose. So it is used only for some specific purpose. They consumed a large amount of energy. For this they have the energy. They consume large amount of energy, generate less heat and consumed less electricity compared to the first generation. So in the first generation, the machine is very big. Compare in the second generation, machine is little bit small. There they use a technology vacuum tubes. Here we have to use the technology transistor. There they use the input and output in punch cards. Here we have to using punch cards and magnetic tapes. There lot of heat will be produced. Here less heat will be produced. Okay. So this is the difference. This is the advanced level when we compare to the first generation. Now the example of the second generation, the first one is RCA 501. That is 5. This is the first RCA 01. This is one type of machine. The next one is IBM 1401. Okay. So this is the another example of the second generation computer. Okay, now we will see the third generation of computer. Now in the third generation computer, this period is 1964 to 1970. So in between these years they have to use the third generation computer. They used integrated circuits. In short form we say IC. Okay, integrated circuit in the place of transistor. So first generation they use vacuum tubes. Second generation they use transistor. Here they use integrated circuit, and IC is also called as chip. This IC, that integrated circuit, is also called chip. It may contain thousands of transistors. Okay, so it may contain how much? Thousands of transistors. Here they used keyboard for input and monitor for the output. So that they use punch cards and magnetic tapes, but here they use keyboards and monitor. Keyboard is used for input and monitor is used for the output. They were smaller, faster, cheaper and more efficient than the earlier computer. So before that, first generation and second generation, when we compare to these two, this is very small in size and it will do very fast and it is very cheaper. It is made for the general public only. So it is used for the general public only. Now I will show you the integrated circuit image. This is the integrated circuit image. Okay, the technology in the third generation, this technology they have to used. I will show example. The first one is IBM 360. This is the one example of third generation language. The another one is Apple 1. Did you see this one? Apple 1. Yes, this is the example of the third generation computer. Now let's see our next generation of computer. The next generation is fourth generation computer. So the period of the fourth generation computer is 1971 to 1981. In between these period, fourth generation computer will be goes. Okay, so they are more powerful and reliable than the previous generation. So when we compare to the first generation, second generation and third generation, this is more powerful. Here they use microprocessor. Here they use microprocessor. I will show the image of microprocessor. This is the microprocessor. It is very small, no? Yes, they are use microprocessor. Microprocessor are very large scale integrated circuit which contains many ICs on a single chip. So in a in an integrated circuit, thousands of transistors are there. Here in one IC they have contain many in very large scale. These integrated circuits, they have many IC in single chip. Here keyboard, mouse, scanner are used for the input. Monitor, printer, speaker are used for the output. They have high storage capacity. Here the storage space is high. They are much smaller, faster and cheapest among the all generation. When we compare to the first generation, second generation and third generation, this is very smaller, faster and cheapest. Now let's see the example. The example of this is Apple Macintosh. Okay, this is the example of Apple Macintosh for the fourth generation. And Jack Kilby and Robert Noisy was first developed the integrate circuits. So they can ask who developed the integrate circuit. So Jack Kilby and Robert Noisy was the first developed this IC, that is integrate circuit. Now we will see the fifth generation of computer, that is our last generation of computer, are still under development. So the period is 1981 to till they are going. Okay, so they are not stopped. They are research for this generation. So that only they said it is under development. They are expected to have the following capabilities. They have give some following. What are the things they have to need? Use super large scale integrate chips, artificial intelligence, a technology that makes a computer able to think like a human. Okay, so the machine will think like a human and perform human like task, voice recognition, decision making, translations between the languages. So these things they have to do. Okay, for that they have to develop. They are researching. Ability to recognize the image and voice, ability to solve complex problems including decision making and logical reasoning also. So the best example is robot. Robot is the best example in the fifth generation computer. So I will show some characteristics of a computer. Okay, some characteristics of a computer. See, the first one is accuracy. It never gives wrong result if the input and instructions are correct. Okay, it will never give a wrong output. If the user gives a wrong input, then only it will give wrong output. Otherwise, it will give a correct. That is, the result will not get any mistake, the instruction, when the instructions are correct. Speed, it can perform huge calculations very quickly. So any long, anything, any big, the calculation it will do very fastly. Next, diligence, it does not get tired or bored like a human. It works for hours doing the same job. So when we have to work something, sometimes we will get tired, but this will not get tired. It can store a large amount of data and information for the future. Okay, it can store the large amount of data. In future, we can use it. Next, versatility. It can perform different tasks. So it is used at different places for different kinds of work. So any task that will work on different places and different works. Multitasking. It can do multiple things at the same time. It will do multiple things at the same time. So this is the characteristic of the computer. Okay. You just see the characters in short. Accuracy, speed, diligence, high storage, versatility and multitasking. If they ask a question, just write the characteristic of a computer, means you can write the topic only. Accuracy, speed, diligence, high storage, versatility and multitasking. The next one is limitations of a computer. So what are the limitations are there? It does not works on its own but requires a set of instruction. So computer cannot do anything without a user. When the user give the instruction, that time only computer will works. It need to be instructed about each and every step it has to be performed. So we have to say each step. For example, if I say 2, you will write 2. The second step I said write 3 means you have to write 3. Third step I will say put plus symbol. Then you have to put plus symbol. Then I will say you add these two numbers, that is 2 plus 3. Then you will add. Like that each and every step you should say, then only it will perform. It cannot take decision on its own. So computer cannot take decision on its own. When we give the instruction, that time only the computer will work. So this is the limitation of the computer. These two topics is not in your book, but you have to learn this one. Okay. The next one is we have to go for a short recap of the generation of computer. Today's class, no. So generations, technology, input and output. What are the main characteristics are there and what is the example? See, the first generation period is 1940 to 58. So in this period, the first generation computers are used. The technology name is vacuum tubes. The technology name is vacuum tubes. Here the input and outputs they have to use for the punch cards. They have to use punch cards. What are the main characteristics are there? Slow in speed, required lot of powers, very large in size and very expensive. Example is ENIAC and UNIVAC. The second one is second generation computer, that is 1959 to 1963. There they used a technology transistor. Here punch cards and magnetic tapes are used for the input and output. It is smaller, faster and cheaper. Example is IBM 1401 and RCA 501. These two are the example of the second generation computer. The next one is third generation, 1964 to 1917 periods they have to use. It is a integrated circuits. Here they used a keyboard for input and monitor for the output. It is smaller, faster, cheaper, increase the storage capacity and it is available for the general public, that is it is used for general purpose. So example is IBM 360 and Apple I are the example of the third generation computer. The next one is fourth generation. Here 1971 to 1980. Here up to till that they have to use this one. Here microprocessor they have to use, keyboard, mouse, scanner for the input, monitor, printer, speaker for the output, and high storage capacity, could process millions of instructions in a second. Example is IBM PC and Apple Macintosh. Okay. The last one is fifth generation computer. So it is still working. They have to under process, they have to develop, okay, under development going. So here they use the technologies artificial intelligence, touch screen, voice recognitions, like that, use super large scale integrated chips, able to think like human, ability to recognize the image and voice. Example, robo. Okay, so this is the short recap, that is short form of shortly you can learn about the generation of computer. The next one is book exercise. Children, take your books. Okay, in the book please take the page number 9. In the book, take the page number 9. Your first Roman is guess who am. Okay, guess who am. The first one, I belong to the fourth generation and contains many ICs on a single chip. Now only we see, no, they have many IPs, means what is that? Yes, it is a microprocessor. The next one, I am made up of rectangular rods. So which device is made up of rectangular rod? Yes, it is a Napier's bones. The next, I am the first calculating device. Which is the first calculating device? Abacus. Abacus is the first calculating device. The second generation computers used me instead of vacuum tubes. In the second generation, vacuum tubes is a technology name. So in the first generation, they use a vacuum tube. So in the second generation, they use transistor. Okay. I am the first computer programmer. Who is the first computer programmer? Yes, Lady Ad Lovelace was the first computer programmer. I am known as the father of computer. Who is the father of computer? Yes, Charles Babbage is the father of computer. So this is the answer of the Roman. The first one is microprocessor. In that they have many ICs are there. Rectangular rods looks like, that is the Napier's bone. First calculating device, abacus. The second generation computer used for instead of vacuum tubes, that is transistor. The first computer programmer is Lady Ad Lovelace, and father of computer we called Charles Babbage. Note it down. Okay, now take the page number 10. Take the page number 10. Tick the correct answer. Okay, your first one is, which of this is the first calculating device? Which of the one is first calculating device? They give options: difference engine, abacus and Pascal line. The answer is what? First calculating device. Yes, it is a abacus. The next one, computers are classified into how many generations? So how many generations are there? They gave options 4, 5 and 6. How many generations are there? Yes, 5 generations are there. The next one, fourth generation computers use what? Artificial intelligence or integrated circuits or microprocessor? Yes, microprocessors. The next one, in which generations were transistors used instead of vacuum tubes? So in which generations transistors are used? First, second or fourth? Yes, it is a second generation. Okay, note it down. Okay, now let's see our next Roman, that is B Roman, same page number, right, true or false. The first one, the analytical engine consists of only 2 units, that is input and mill. But I thought you the analytical engine, how many units are there? There are 5 units, okay, input, output, mill, control and store. But here they are saying only 2 unit. So the statement is false. The statement is false. The second one, the second generation computers are used transistors. Yes, the second generation transistor only they are using. The third one, the fifth generation computers use integrated circuits. So in the fifth generation they are using artificial intelligence, but here they are saying integrate circuits. So integrate circuits where they are using? They are using in third generation. So here the statement is false. Abacus was invented by Douglas Engelbart. The statement is correct? No, the abacus was not invented by Douglas Engelbart. So the statement is false. Charles Babbage is known as the father of computer. Yes, Charles Babbage is called the father of computer. The statement is true. Note it down. The next Roman, identify this. They have to show some pictures, no? You have to identify. Okay, so the first one, who is he? Yes, he is a Blaise Pascal. So he invented Pascal line machine. The next one is Charles Babbage. He is the father of computer. The next one is Lady Anne Lovelace, she is the first computer programmer. She only wrote the first computer programmer. So the first one is Basil Pascal. Second one is Charles Babbage. The third one is Lady Anne Lovelace. Have you noted? Okay. Now the next one. What is that? Yes, it is a microprocessor. It is in which generation it is used? It is used in the 4th generation. The next one is vacuum tubes. Where the vacuum tubes are used? In the 1st generation, vacuum tubes are used. The next one is integrated circuits. This integrated circuit is used in 3rd generations. Okay, note it down, student. Now take the page number 11, D Roman, name the following. Okay, so the first one, first calculating device. Which is the first calculating device? Abacus is the first calculating device. First general purpose electronic digital computer. Which is the first general purpose computer? Yes, ENIAC is the first general purpose computer. First computer programmer. Who is the first computer programmer? Yes, Lady Anne Lovelace was the first general purpose, that is computer programmer. Who invention by the Basil Pascal. He invented what? The machine name is what? Yes, it is a Pascal line. Okay. So the first calculating device is abacus. General purpose electronic device is computer, that is ENIAC. First computer programmer is Lady Anne Lovelace, and Basil Pascal, he invented Pascal line. Okay, have you noted? So up to here we have to finish our first lesson. Okay, so these two videos, it's for the first lesson. Here we have finished our first lesson. Thank you, students.